Good morning, everyone. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to be talking about design briefs. I've had a few students ask me for some specific guidance on what a design brief should contain, and it is an important part of criteria one that I feel like needs a little bit more elaboration. So, long story short, the big summary is that a design brief is a summary or a goal or your objective. What are you planning on getting out of it? Now, usually what happens is that an engineer works with a client, works with someone else, and someone else comes to them with the problem and says, okay, here's my problem, how are we going to solve it? And a design brief is basically a document that you have crafted with your client or the other person to sort of say, okay, well, the problem is this is my idea for how we're going to fix it, and these are the restrictions that are going to be placed upon it. And that's usually things such as the suitability for the person who's requested it, the time that it needs to be done in, the cost of the thing, those sort of restricting factors. There's no point in designing a tool to help a person who physically can't use it. It's no good making a glove for someone with no arms. Alright? It's also not useful to make a device that is completely impractical for its purpose. So if you're making a fishing rod, for example, and it weighed 7 kilos, well, that's not exactly going to be practical for its intended purpose of fishing. So the idea is that the design brief is an agreement between you and the client to narrow down what the focus of the project is, how big it's going to be, and the time limits that are inherent as part of that. So for each of you, you are going to need to do a design brief. Now you can imagine a third party coming to you and sort of saying, hey, this is my problem, or you can simply be your own client. Either way, that's not a problem. So what you need to be doing, now criteria 1, 2, and 3 for the systems, you can think of the entire thing as possibly being the one design brief, because some design briefs do include pros and cons of particular solutions, sketches, due dates, all that sort of stuff. But right now what we're focusing on is the problem statement part of it, where you are describing the problem, you are talking about the restrictions that are part of that problem, the budget, the time, and the needs of the problem. What must your solution have? All right. Now, the important thing to remember is that while you are only building an aspect of it, you are still required in criteria 1, 2, and 3 to talk about the whole project, the big picture. All right. So you got to make sure that you are talking about the whole project, and then you are focused. Then you are making a statement saying, "I am going to focus on constructing this aspect for my folio, for my project." All right, so you have the whole big picture thing, and then you are selecting your focus aspect. You would say that focus part in criteria 3, but I'm letting you know now that I'm expecting the design brief for a whole project, and then you are selecting your focus. All right, and we'll talk more about that in criteria 3 when we get to it.